Holy crap. What a day. What a couple of days. Oh my God. Yesterday I finally came to the property where the red deer are. First red deer raw experience for me as a bow hunter. Yesterday I got really close to a fair amount of deer, mostly hinds. Well, exactly across there, all on the other side of the gully there. And I put a shot on a hind about 10 o'clock in the morning. Shot was, I think it was a bit high, so downhill shot. I'm not used to taking those sort of shots. And yeah, I think it was only a one long shot, just could not track that deer at all. And yeah, last night, there was no rain last night, and it got really cool. Heaps of fog around early hours of from about 2 o'clock onwards. And I heard a deer, actually a stag on this side of this hill here. Got him roaring back at me from across that gully in the afternoon, just before daybreak. Yeah, this morning I headed straight up this hill, right up to the top of the gully, because I heard a few grunts up there, which I thought that's where the stag was. And yeah, saw a couple of really bad bush heads, one of them especially, and another smallish stag was sort of calling back to me, right not far from me, within 100 metres, but he just wouldn't come in. And then all of a sudden, from right up the top there, I heard some really nice grunts and roars. So we were working backwards and forwards with each other for a little while, and I heard him go back over to that peak up there. So I slowly made my way around the gully and come across this spiker, which he was fairly sus on me, so I had to take it really careful. And then all of a sudden I saw the 6x6 stag. He was working down the gully slightly, just right near the spiker. So obviously he was the target. And after having a stand up with the spiker for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or whatever, might have been longer, made my way back up to the top of the peak there to get around the spiker and try and just find out where this stag was heading towards, because he had a hind with him. And yeah, I went to the right in the head of the gully, and yeah, saw a few deer there, saw the hinds, saw 2 spikers, and I just had this gut feeling where I knew I just had to go back to near where I saw the big stag. And yeah, I was making my way back towards the stag, and he was down in this little sort of depression, little rock face, bedded up, and I would have walked up to about 10 metres from him, and he spooked out of the bed. So I crouched down and yeah, eventually tried to take a shot at him, and just clean miss, thank God. another downhill sort of shot through some grass, and yeah, sort of glassed the stag a fair bit before he left my sight, and I sort of followed him, and it didn't seem like he had had any damage to him, which was really good. Yeah, so went back and checked the area a fair bit, and was fairly well confident that from where I took the shot from, it was definitely a clean miss. So yeah, midday came along, went around this other part of the property and came across a spiker there, and I had a major standoff with him for about half an hour or more, and he eventually got onto me and buggered off. So I slowly made my way back around to this part of the property, hoping to find some more deer, at least a hind or something, just to put a bit more of a stalk in on something. And pretty well where I got to where I was, almost to where I was sitting, I heard just a quiet roar, and I gave a couple back to him, and yeah, no more than a couple of minutes later, heard some noise, sticks crunching and stuff just down there, and all of a sudden I see the 6x6 stag coming straight towards me. And he was getting closer. When he got to near that gum tree there, I started to draw back and almost couldn't draw back because of the terrible seating position I was in. And he spooked and just ran back that way 10 meters, and yeah, took a nice 30-meter shot, quartering away. Looked really good. He went downhill a bit and heard a few noises, and the hinds, he definitely wasn't going after the hinds that came in with him. And yeah, I think I got my first red deer, and it's a 6x6. I can't believe it. First year hunting the raw, second day hunting the raw, and I think I've sealed the deal on the pinnacle of my bow hunting career that I've been waiting so long for. Coming from North Queensland, something that I always dreamed of, and yeah, I put a lot of effort in to try and get onto decent red deer properties, and it's been so difficult. I was lucky the people that own this 1,000-acre property just let me on, and yeah, almost missed out on the hunt this year because the dates got mixed up of mine and some other guys, and luckily they didn't end up coming this weekend, and hopefully it's my time. Can't believe it. I'm just going to give the stag a little bit more time, make sure he dies and whatnot without spooking him off. Oh man, he looks nice. Really nice condition, really nice looking antlers, especially for this area. Oh yeah, I can't believe it. So excited.